Hey gang, Kyle's going to talk today about how to transition from kneeling to sitting when you're shooting your carbine. Kyle, take it away.
Hey, Kyle here with Defoor Proformance Shooting. Today we're going to talk about some lower positions besides prone, and that's the kneeling and sitting position. So the first thing on kneeling with a rifle is we want to establish that we do not want our head to be down a lot. One of the first things you got to think about when you shoot a gun like this, we basically have something square right here, and it's going into something round. A lot of people will try to take the stock, put it down low, and then mount the gun. And if you watch my head right here, they end up getting that little crane in the back of their neck. Even if you don't have that flexible of a neck, the problem is you got an extreme eye position. So you're actually looking out of the top of your eye orbit cavity there, and at a distant target, small distant target, that can make a big difference. So what we want to do is we want to take that buttstock and slide it up. You don't need that much, about half is all you need, so that our face is basically up, kind of parallel with the target. So the next thing on kneeling is a lot of guys will try to keep their standing and prone grip. This is my grip in prone and standing. If I try to do that kneeling, it's very low, right? So what I'm going to do is take my hand and roll it underneath the rail system. So if you look at my finger, instead of being out on the side now, my finger's just like that in the kneeling position. As I come back, I'm going to use these three fingers right here to grip that quad rail. And most people, if they abide by this rule back here and get their head up, they're going to need some elevation in the gun. Don't try to do it with your knee or anything like that. Here's what you're going to do. Take your hand and slide it closer to the mag well, just like that. So I basically take my watch band and put it on the mag well, and that gives me enough elevation. So now if you look at that, that's pretty tight. The last little tidbit on kneeling, I take my master grip and I actually cam the gun so that the magazine is going into my forearm, just like that right there. Rolling this hand outside, three fingers on the quad rail, coming in just like that, nice and tight. All right, so if we look at here, I'm going to take a couple of shots, and again, I can get natural point of aim. All right, nice. Now, one more tip. If you look at my knee down here, what I've done is I've taken away the 90-degree angle. Typically, guys in the kneeling position are like this. They have this 90-degree angle right here with their leg. I completely make that go away. If you can put the back of your thigh on the back of your calf and all your weight going forward and down, it will be way more stable. A lot of people can't do that because of gear, because of body size, etc. Not a big deal. Here's the last key component you need to remember with a kneeling position. As long as it's your tricep on your knee and not your elbow on your knee, you're going to be fine. So you can do this and stand up and kick back on your heel as long as we obey the rule of keeping the tricep on the knee instead of the elbow on the knee. So pretty easy stuff there. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about, when I show kneeling, a lot of people are like, well, you know, double ACLs or bad knees, or I have a lot of guys with one leg now, they're still deploying. So we have to talk about some other positions that get you low, but it's higher than prone. So that would be sitting position. The sitting position has been around for as long as shooting has been around. Typically speaking, most guys, one of the most popular is to cross your legs over like this, and you're taking your elbows and putting them in the pockets of your knees. So if you guys look at me doing this right now, you'll notice that I've got that little head thing going on, a little extreme head position, and the buttstock is trying to creep low, right? Remember, I want it to be high and I want my head to be up. Most right-handed people cross their legs right over left. If you'll switch that around and cross your legs left over right, that will actually raise the front leg and it'll give you a little more elevation. So right there in the pockets, we look at this going hot. Super nice. Couple other neat sitting options is, you know, some of the old school ones. Some guys like to spread out like this. What I'll do is I'll lock my ankles in like this right here. Again, knees are in the pockets here, nice and tight. All right, and one more that I've only recently been doing, probably the last 5 years or so. I'll do the same thing, turn my body a little bit, and I'll actually bring my knee in so my knee gets higher, and I'll straddle my knee with my magazine and pistol grip. And again, I've got isometric pressure going on here with the ankles. So that gives you a bunch of options right there, sitting and kneeling. They're good to know. You never know when you might have to sit down and look at an area for a long ways and get higher than prone but lower than standing. All right, practice it. We'll see you out there on the range.
Trigger Time TV is brought to you by Raven Concealment System, Troy Industries, Troy Defense, Legion Firearms, U.S. Optics, Meredith Rifle, Dark Angel, Keltec, Yeti, Crossbone, Wiley X, Vertex, Black Rain Ordnance, Huber Concepts, Tac Strike, and WW Guns.
I'd like to dedicate this episode to a group of men under the High Threat Protection Division, specifically Raven 3-1, my old team. It was an honor to work with you and to be your leader.
Closed caption provided by Wiley X.